Hey, I'm hellorodney. Thanks for clicking on my video. Well, see that bike frame right there? This thing right here? That's a Tomasini bike frame from Italy. I had this slalom water ski from somebody or other, Pope, 3-time national champion. It had this cool sticker on it and everything. And I had it for a long time. I did a video about that actually, long time ago. It was a bicycle video. And I had it for a long time. And there's this guy I know who had this frame. And I wasn't thinking about this frame actually, but he had, I know that he likes that kind of stuff because he has lots of really interesting stuff in his house. So I took that water ski thing into town and asked him if he wanted to trade something for it. And he says, oh, how about that frame? So now I've got this Tomasini steel frame in exchange for that water ski. That's awesome. This frame was used by a guy who still, I think, holds the national record for, I can't remember the name of that race. It's a race it's like 12.5 miles out and 12.5 miles back. That's the race that I did a video about one time. And I think he holds the record for the single and the tandem on that, but I'm not sure. But anyway, he was a guy who was on this racing team, professional racing team in the United States a long time ago called Juliet. They're defunct now, I guess. But it's really great to have that bike frame. And I called around. I called this place in San Francisco that sells Tomasini frames, and they said, yeah, the frame is worth about $1,000. You know, so if it is or not, who knows? But it's a beautiful piece of sculpture. It's like I don't like it when it doesn't when the thing goes back and forth like that. I don't like it. So I like to, I don't have it's not perfectly balanced, but I don't like it when it jiggles around. So let's see if I can. Yeah, it's not, if it needs to hang straight down, and usually, probably what will happen is it will be hanging straight down. It's not too bad right now, but when it slows down, it'll be just coming straight down and it won't be going back and forth. But it's a nice frame. It's got a good history to it. So that's good. My back is feeling better, but it's still not right. I've been putting on this freaking horse liniment and taking, what is it, ibuprofen. But I'm starting to feel better, and then now the next project is to get this King of Glass website up. The King of Glass. Because I am the King of Glass. So I have all this glass stuff. This is a collection of crosses, looks like. When I first started, that's not a cross, but when I first started making, I'll show you. When I first started making these things, found some of these things that were old, and those buckets of scrap I was telling you about. Well, I started going over them, and I started finding these little pieces like this. This is it's not one of the best ones, but it's a little face. And I was making these little faces, and the faces turned out great, but they just took a long time to make. So I wasn't too crazy about making them. But I might start making them again. I need to get my other camera so I can get some close-ups of this kind of stuff. You can't get close-ups with this camera, but this is such a convenient camera to use. You know. So anyway, I've got to start doing the website. And also I had a website called 1000works.com. And it's coming up for renewal, and I don't know if I'm going to renew it because I don't know what to do with that website. It costs probably $35 to renew it, so maybe I will. I don't know. It's kind of a cool name. I hate to lose the name if I had something that was you know, that I had some idea for doing a series of 1,000 pieces, which I had at the time I did it. But at the time I did it, it was in that period where I couldn't focus. I couldn't do anything. I mean, I have these great ideas which, you know, come like freaking like rain. Well, it doesn't rain that much in the desert, does it? They come pretty quickly. And then I get excited about something and I try to do something, it doesn't work. It's like, oh fuck, what am I doing? You know, but now I'm a little bit more focused, so I will be, but I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what to do with it. I'm just going to show you something over here, but there's no light. There's no light. Still haven't, look at that. Still haven't got this place finished. This place will never be finished. That's okay. So it's time to get that King of Glass site going, and I got to get rid of all of my inventory. I got to get rid of all of it. I got to sell everything. I got to sell everything and then start doing some paintings. Because that's, you know, that's more what I would like to do. I'd like to do paintings and some more interesting jewelry type stuff. Like these little faces, those faces weren't that good, but some of the stuff that I was making was really pretty interesting. And it took quite a while to make it because it was very fine work. It was just using these little teeny tiny pieces, and so after a while I just bailed on that idea because you know, it's hard to get your money back for that kind of thing because you spend a bunch of time on something, and you know, it was a lot easier just to make those kind of things that I was making, that I make in volume. So that's what I'm going to have to do. I've got to get rid of all of my inventory, move it out so I can have, you know, I've got piles upon piles upon piles of stuff. Literally thousands of pieces of jewelry that can be made. I don't know how many hundreds of pieces that I have now. I have a lot. So I've got to get on the phone and start calling around and finding some customers that, I need some big customers. You know, I need some big customers. We all have our needs, right? We all have our wants. But the house is still pretty clean. You know, except for stuff like that, like my pants and shoes laying all over the place. But it's starting to get a little chilly in here now. A while ago it was really hot, so I opened the window and it got chilly. It's after 9 o'clock here. It's 73 degrees. And I have this, I'll show you something here. I live very high up, okay? Now this window right here, that is it's open right now. It's on the west side of the house. And to the west is higher elevation. So what happens is that when the higher elevation, the cold air drops and it starts moving down the hill. So when I have that window open in the summertime, or in this, you know, when it's starting to get hot, what happens is that the cold air drops and starts coming down and then goes right in that window and cools off my house. you know. That's at night. That's what I do at night to help cool my house down. I have these windows. I covered the windows already. I had them covered all winter because the place was getting too freaking hot, man. I mean, it was like, fucking places like boiling. And then I covered these windows right here. These are the windows in the kitchen area. And I covered them with these British Union Jacks. So that's all covered now. So that it really keeps the house more cool. The problem is, though, in the summertime, and when it starts to get warm, is that with all the windows blocked out, now I'm living in a freaking cave, which I don't like. In the wintertime, everything's open up and I can see everywhere, you know, and now, in the summer when it starts to get hot, you have to start closing everything down, and it's a little bit confining and claustrophobic a little bit, but, you know, what are you going to do? I don't have any air conditioning, you know, except for the natural air conditioning that's going to be coming down for those mountains. Okay, that's enough of a video. I took the springs. The springs are up here. I said, I'm going to take the springs down. So I was up there taking them down, and then the freaking things got away from me. I go, whoop, 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 whoop. Thing crashed. Yeah, crashed right here. Took the freaking bike frame down with it, you know. Oh, it was a freaking nightmare. It was a freaking nightmare. But could have been worse. Huh. Oh, yeah. That's me. That's the picture of me when I first got to Los Angeles. That's what I looked like. That's what I looked like when I first went to LA. This is how I look now. Time is flying by, I'm telling you. I'm hellorodney. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.